on your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know, good thing to say I dabbled in stand-up or something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when the ass takes off his shirt.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
Hello. Can you hear me? Welcome to Chrissie Mayr in the morning. Got a couple of news topics to discuss. Hold on a second. Let me make sure all my things are working. How is everyone today? Are we doing Christmas shopping? Are we wrapping gifts? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Hello. What's going on? Hi, Ben. Okay, I want to talk about this Alex Jones Infowars situation because it's a little confusing. At first, it seemed like he dramatically lost Infowars in this mysterious bidding war, and then it was told to people that, well, The Onion bought it, but they weren't even the highest bidder. And I was like, well, who gets to decide who won? Who decided that The Onion got to win and not whoever had the highest bid? And what was the highest bid? And who were the bidders? Like, I have so many questions. So here's an article from Fox 5 Vegas. What happens next with Alex Jones Infowars? No certainty yet after the sale to The Onion is rejected. Ooh. Oh boy. And now I'm going to start using Brave again because I can't stand all these heads popping up. The Onion's rejected purchase of Infowars in an auction bid supported by families of the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting dealt them a new setback on Wednesday and clouded the future of Alex Jones's conspiracy theory platform. Come on, it's mostly news, which will remain in his control for at least the near future. What's next for Infowars and the Sandy Hook family's long-sought efforts to hold Jones accountable over calling one of the deadliest school? He basically called the school shooting a hoax. That's it. But our journalists and legacy news people can lie constantly for years and nothing ever happens to them. So it doesn't really seem fair how these things are dealt out. Okay. A federal judge in Houston late Tuesday rejected The Onion's winning bid for the site. The only other bidder was a company aligned with Jones. Who was that? I guess they can't say. U.S. bankruptcy Judge Christopher Lopez in Houston said he did not want another auction, but offered to roadmap over how to proceed. One possibility includes ultimately allowing Sandy Hook families who comprise most of Jones's creditors to return to state courts in Connecticut and Texas to collect on the nearly $1.5 billion in defamation and emotional distress lawsuit judgments that Jones was ordered to pay them. Our hope is that when this process ends, and it will end, and it will end sooner rather than later, is that all assets that Alex Jones has are available and paid to the families. That includes Infowars, and that as a result of the process, Alex Jones is deprived of the ownership and control of the platform that he's used to hurt so many people. Then just don't watch it. I'm so confused. If someone's speech hurts your feelings, stop listening to their speech. If you feel like someone's lying about you, I don't know, you can follow the right channels, be like, oh, this is defamation, or I'm sending you a letter of cease and desist, whatever. I don't understand this. They must have really good lawyers. Christopher Matei, an attorney for the Sandy Hook family, said on Wednesday. The families, meanwhile, were preparing to mark. This is what makes me feel like it was a hoax. The fact that there's all this, that they're coming back so hard at Alex Jones when so many other people get to lie all the time. Okay. The families, meanwhile, were preparing to mark the 12th anniversary of the December 14th shooting. The satirical news publication bought InfoWars in an auction backed by the families of the Sandy Hook victims. Okay. Why was the Onion's bid rejected? The sale of InfoWars is part of Jones's personal bankruptcy case, which he filed in late 2022 after he was ordered to pay the $1.5 billion. Jones was sued for repeatedly saying on his show that the 2012 massacre of 20 first graders and 6 educators was staged by crisis actors to spur more gun control. I mean, we do know that they want gun control. He has since conceded that the shooting did happen. Lopez said there was a lack of transparency in the bidding process and too much confusion about the Onion's bid, and he expressed concern that the amount of money offered was too low. The Onion's parent company, Global Tetrahedron, submitted a $1.75 million cash offer with plans to kick Jones out and relaunch InfoWars in January as a parody. The bid also included a deal with many of the Sandy Hook families for them to forego $750,000 of their auction proceeds and give it to other creditors. The other bidder was First United American Companies, which runs a website in Jones's name that sells nutritional supplements and planned to let Jones stay on InfoWars platforms. It offered $3.5 million in cash. Well, something tells me that was the higher bidder then. $3.5 million in cash, and later, with Jones' alleged fraud and collusion in the bidding process, Lopez rejected those allegations. Christopher Mayr, the trustee who oversaw the auction, said he picked the Onion in its deal with the Sandy Hook families because it would have provided more money to Jones's other creditors. What happens next? Lopez directed Murray to come up with a new plan to move forward. Murray and the representatives of the Onion did not immediately return messages seeking comment. The judge said there was a possibility there could be a trial in 2025 to settle Jones's bankruptcy and that Murray could try to sell the equity in InfoWars' parent company. The judge said he wanted to hear back from Murray and others involved in the bankruptcy within 30 days on a plan. On the social media platform X, Jones called the judge's ruling a major victory for freedom of the press and due process. Jeff Anapolsky, an adjunct professor at the University of Houston Law Center and the managing director and founder of Anapolsky Advisors, a financial consulting firm, said he was not surprised Lopez rejected the sale. He was not involved in the case, but said he has appeared before Lopez and described him as a fair judge. Anapolsky believes the sale of InfoWars assets will ultimately take place and be approved. So that's up to Mr. Murray now, the trustee, to go do something and make everyone feel like everybody had their say and understand the transparency of the process, Anapolsky said. Sandy Hook family's 2 March shooting anniversary. The decision came during a solemn week for relatives of victims of the Sandy Hook shooting in Newton, Connecticut. The 12th anniversary is Saturday, and some of the victims' relatives were traveling to Washington, D.C. to attend an annual vigil for victims of gun violence. The families usually mark the anniversary out of public eye. Oh, why would they suddenly be in the public eye now? Maybe it's to push gun control. Many of the families have said their lawsuits against Jones brought back the unbearable pain of losing their loved ones, as well as the trauma of being harassed and threatened by believers of Jones's hoax conspiracy. Trauma of being harassed and threatened. Oh boy. I'm like, then stay offline. I don't know. Relatives said they have been confronted in public by hoax believers and received death threats and rape threats. The families have not received any money from Jones since winning the trials. And here's a picture of Gankles. Oh boy, very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, let's see. Well, if you go on Twitter, okay, what does Breitbart have to say? Is it it might be similar. Hello, chat. What do you think? Okay. 3.5 million for InfoWars is ridiculous. It was all a scam to silence him and punish him for speaking up against the machine. Yes, Ben. Yes, Ben. That's exactly right. Okay. Breitbart. Let's zoom a little. No deal. Judge blocks sale of Alex Jones Infowars to the Onion. After a 2-day hearing, U.S. bankruptcy judge, these ads, Christopher Lopez of Houston ruled an auction did not result in the best bids possible. He rejected Jones's claims that the auction was plagued by collusion. As Breitbart News reported, the Onion had named the winning bidder on November 14th over the company that was affiliated with Jones, whose platform was put up for sale as part of the bankruptcy case stemming from the $1.5 billion court order. Yes, we know the Onion had planned to kick Jones out and relaunch InfoWars as a parody, which would have gone so poorly. People would not have gone for it. People were already following Jones on his new Twitter account. What was it? Alex Jones Alex Jones Media or the Alex Jones Network, right? AJN. So people would have stopped paying attention to InfoWars and wouldn't have seen or cared what it would have become. We are deeply disappointed in today's decision. The Onion will continue to seek a resolution that helps us. Oh yeah, that's all they want to do. That's all the Onion wants to do. Help Sandy Hook families. They're in bed together. Okay, the Onion only offered $1.75 million in cash and other incentives for InfoWars. The other company, First United American Companies, offered $3.5 million. So way, way, way more. Yet the smaller bid was chosen. Interesting. Wow. They were way, way outbid, but still. You got to scratch and claw and get everything you can for them, Lopez said. Whoa. Disappointed in the judge's ruling. Oh, they're so harassed. Okay. I mean, it is horrible. It is horrible if / that happened. No, it's yeah, it's horrible that these people were killed. But again, this is a freedom of speech issue. If you just anybody can say anything is a hoax. It's just the fact that they went after him as hard as they did. Definitely to me speaks that they just well Alex Jones is a problem in general, they think. So let's just kneecap him for this particular thing. Interesting. But Alex Jones is a fighter, as we know, so he will come out on top no matter what they deal him. And a quick perusal on Twitter here. Wow. Buy InfoWars and dump it. Alex Jones wins big in InfoWars bankruptcy case against the Onion. If it was not for certain people paying attention to Alex Jones, this nation would be effed more than it is right now. Wow. If a court can force Alex Jones to pay a ridiculous $1.2 billion for his opinion, CNN is worth 100 times Infowars revenue. The suit should be for $10 billion or more, and the precedent set by Jones's case pretty much means CNN is guilty, and the jury just needs to set the punishment. And I'm not gonna pick that up. Infowars sale hinges on more money and less secrecy. From Bloomberg. No, this is what website is this? Oh, Bloomberg Law. I guess that's reputable. Okay, let's bring up this one. Trustee could pitch new sale on where cash is king, judge says. Judge didn't rule out Sandy Hook family's waiving claim. Oh, hello, Muffin. A trustee overseeing the right-wing conspiracy theorist bankruptcy must contend with one clear mandate from a judge: find more money. Oh, but that will likely be a challenging task. Christopher Lopez offered the trustee little guidance, stating that only he was dissatisfied with the lack of transparency surrounding the initial auction. The satirical news site, meaning that the Onion needs to come up with more money. Is that what this means here? The satirical news site has said its plans in the coming weeks to re-up its effort, which is essentially to buy and bury Infowars, use it to parody Jones, and steer his audience towards gun safety content. Ugh, that sounds great. Its success will hinge on its ability to help trustee Christopher Mayr prove that any new offer is not only financially superior to competing bids, so they have to make more than $3.5 million. Or is it billion? Goodness. It was billion. They need to make more than $3.5 billion. Wow. What a friggin' waste of money. So it's got to be superior, financially superior to competing bids, but also prove that the bidding process was conducted openly. Meanwhile, the Onion setback this week potentially opens the door for other interested buyers, including those who support Jones. Progressive Texas digital media startup The Barbed Wire and the right-wing streaming service Tucker Carlson Network both previously expressed interest in Infowars. Judge Lopez left the trajectory of the case in Murray's hands, emphasizing that the parties and their lawyers were operating in good faith, but said that the case needs to get back on track and it must be wrapped in 2025. Said Christopher D. Hampton. New sale. Lopez's ruling means Murray will now continue operating the estate until he decides what to do with the Infowars assets. He's working to liquidate Jones's estate to pay off more than $1.3 billion to the families of Sandy Hook. Lopez at a bankruptcy hearing in the Southern District of Texas on December 10th said he didn't appear inclined to open a new round of auction because of the confusion surrounding the initial process, which was conducted via sealed bids. He left it to Murray to decide next steps, but suggested the trustee could still pursue sales, including a sale of Jones's equity in Infowars parent, but there's no disputed lien. This just sounds like a mess. If the trustees pursued another auction, he'll likely have to move away from the sealed bid structure. Yeah, because they want to make sure that they outbid the supporters of Alex. That's not really favored in bankruptcy. Lopez suggested the trustee could reopen the bidding using traditional cash is king rules. Wow. But if the trustee decides to allow Sandy Hook families that supported the Onion to waive their proceeds as a sweetener, as they did with the initial bid, the process will have to be more transparent. The judge's biggest concerns are pending litigation over alleged secured debt in the case and whether the defamation judgments will hold up on appeal. If good faith is found, the issue should be settled. If the judge wants a quick resolution, and he seemed to indicate that he does, then he shouldn't push too deeply into the balance struck by the trustees' good faith decisions. Okay. John Pateau, a professor at the University of Michigan Law School, speculated that Lopez may believe both sides are willing to put more money on the table because of the intense fight over the assets. They believe the sale process will start from scratch so that the Onion and a Jones associated backup bidder, First United American, will have an opportunity to compete again. Wow. So the pot's just going to get bigger and bigger. Now that First United knows how much it needs to bid to prevail, it will have to offer enough to pay other creditors and the Sandy Hook families at least as much as they would have received with the Onion's bid. So what does this do? Mainly it delays resolution. I'm not sure that it pushes the sale price in a substantial way. Oh, okay. The unconventional structure of the Onion's offer had the families that backed its bid agree to reduce their own claims to put an otherwise lower cash bid over the top to win the auction. The Onion's parent company valued its final bid, which included $1.75 million in cash, to the Sandy Hook families' waiver of their claims at more than $7 million. While Lopez was troubled at the auction process, he didn't have a problem with the novel treatment of the family's claims, despite criticism from Jones and First United. That means that if the trustee decides to hold another auction, the families can still use the power of their massive judgments to influence a sale. So what? Lopez said at a hearing. Smart lawyers can come up with creative ways, and this is a unique case where there's $1 billion judgment. Okay, all right. Sounds like it's just delayed for now. He could totally purchase Infowars and let freedom ring with Mayor in the morning. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Oh, wouldn't that be great? I can contribute $25. No. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. I want to talk about this gal, this OnlyFans gal who I actually haven't watched this tape, this recording yet. So this is an OnlyFans gal named Lily Phillips, and she, I guess, has already slept with 100 men in one day and now plans to sleep with 1,000 men in a day, and she's doing the casting for it right now. This girl is based in the UK, I believe.
It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest,
it is not for the weak. Ooh, so how many Kegels must she be doing to put up with?
hard. Having sex with 100 men in a single day was not what OnlyFans model Lily Phillips expected it to be. After offering her male fans a chance to sleep with her, the 23-year-old details the not
She's
safe
only 23? Oh, man. Well, she has time to turn it around, I think.
for work experience in a recent documentary with YouTuber Josh Peters. And according to Lily, the 14-hour stunt in which she gave each man 2 to 5 minutes to do the deed.
Oh, you get 2 to 5 minutes. Yeah, good luck to the dudes who are nervous and who require way more than 5 minutes. You get 2 to 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. Guys in the chat, is that enough time for you? Would you guys have like a leftover 4 minutes to give back? Like they do in comedy, like, yeah, I'm gonna give my time back to the room. 2 to 5 minutes. So it's basically a hello and then go. No chit chat.
Was not for the weak. She admits in a video published December 7th. It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest, it was hard.
Wow.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
No, she very much regrets it. It was hard and I don't recommend it. Oh, poor thing. How could this possibly, it's not going to be fun. Let's say she does have a connection with some of these guys. Well, guess what? You got to move along. It's a conveyor belt of D. That means you spend as much time with like maybe the special guys you connect with as you do the the guys who stink or the ones who just have a bad vibe or the ones who are like too aggressive or whatever. So even if you're a person who like really enjoys sex, you're not going to get any enjoyment out of this.
More intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
And like, come on, this is insane. This is not for her. It even if she's like very in touch with her own body, I don't think a woman can get there, can climax between 2 and 5 minutes. So how much of this is like really pleasurable for her? I doubt very little, if any, because she's probably worried the whole time about her safety, about like, okay, is this guy, I guess, you know, doing the thing so that we can count them? She's probably just worried about like the goal of 100 rather than, enjoying herself.
Sorry.
She's like, I just have to cry. I just have to break down
In
and
fact,
cry.
Lily had to excuse
Ugh.
herself to cry in another room shortly after performing the feat, saying that it was definitely more intense than she thought. She can be seen getting emotional while explaining that she constantly feels pressure to give the men a good time.
Yeah. It's not about her at all. Why would she do this? Oh my God. It's like, it's hard enough for one guy to make you feel good. You got to spend a long time with them. They got to really figure you out. It's absolutely impossible that any of these 100 men made her feel good.
I guess the interactions when like I'd have to stop them early and like you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go, and like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come.
The pressure is entirely on her. This is like hard work for her. Why would she do this to herself? This is like I don't know. I want to say like unpaid labor. I don't know how much money she's making from this. Whatever it is, it's not worth it. It's not worth like her soul.
If like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got,
and she still feels bad. She feels guilty. Like I didn't like I guess the customer service part of her brain is going off. Like, well, you didn't you didn't leave them with a smile and like a comment card. Like she did an unthinkable thing that requires so much energy output, and she accomplished it, and she still feels bad.
2 minutes.
The London-based influencer adds that several men even tried guilt-tripping her into extending their time together.
Several men of course, because no one values her, because she doesn't value herself. She just put a number on her cooch, and guess what? Turns out it's hard to do.
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, "What? You're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way."
To go. First of all, dudes, like you're lucky to be there. Any guy who's with her she's beautiful, and like I'm sure a lot of guys would be like, well, she's not worth much now because she's been so ran through, but she is a beautiful woman who is worthy, even at this point, still, of love and a good relationship. And I think if she finds Jesus and does some sort of whole body baptism, I don't know, do a dunk, do some kind of a chemical shower, I don't know. No, joking aside, like this woman can turn it around, and she's doing this because she doesn't think she's worthy of love, and she doesn't think her body and soul and mind are special. And I was talking to my friend Erica yesterday, and I was like, look, this whole OnlyFans industry, it stops the moment that women believe that they are valuable. They believe their bodies and spirits are valuable, and if you don't value yourself, you're not going to value the output. You're not going to value the men that you're with, the men that you choose, the men you just simply spend time with, not let alone get physical with. But she doesn't when you don't value yourself, you're going to keep upping the stakes on the physical part. And clearly, like, this is the result. She's in tears. She feels emotionally, spiritually, physically depleted. I'm sure none of these were these guys grateful? Were they even kind to her?
Kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic.
Robotic.
Like, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna.
Wait, did you say by the third guy?
I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna the 30th, you know, like
30th.
Like,
by the 30th guy. So it even felt she could have just done 30 and been like, that was nice.
Guilt tripping me a little bit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic. Like I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal.
She checked out.
And while her room was littered with condoms at the end of the night, Lily recounts how she's feeling both physically and mentally by the end.
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired.
And this isn't the end for Lily. She revealed in a
just tired. She's like, I'm just so tired. Like, have any of you guys been speed dating? That's tiring. And everyone keeps their clothes on for that. I can't imagine. She's going to have PTSD from this.
November video shared on X. Last week, I did 101 guys. This was just the warm-up because in
101? What is this? The horrible sequel to 101 Dalmatians? 101 guys? This was just a warm-up because in February, I'm going to be the first person to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Lily. This is how you reacted after 100 guys. What do you... and it's not just like, let me try for 200. You're trying to do 1,000? You're going to collapse, girl. You're going to have to, like, I don't know, put headphones in or something. Or put one of those, like, I don't know, augmented reality goggles on. Like, you're going to have to do something else.
February, I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day.
This is like almost like self-sabotage. Oof. This is scary. I feel scared for this girl. She doesn't love herself. Nobody does this that loves himself. Let's look at the comments here on YouTube. Dang, for real. Sold her actual soul for money. How sad and disgusting. Seriously disturbing. Not surprised one bitchy burst into tears talking about it despite signing up for it. It's such a major violation of your spirit and body. Having that many men inside of you is straight demonic. I feel sick for her. It does make you feel sick. Absolutely disgusting. Society has failed to be human. Wow. Sleeping with 100 men in one day, no less. What did she think was going to happen? Rainbows and butterflies. This lady needs serious help. She was emotional and upset. However, she wants to do 1,000. You know why? Because these OnlyFans gals, and probably in like regular porn too, but it's like the thrill of making so much money and being able to pay your bills at first. I think it's exciting because you go, oh wow, I don't need a day job anymore. I don't really need a man to take care of me, if that's empowering to them. The idea of that, like if they're kind of feminist and they go, cool, I don't need anybody, which is funny, surprisingly, because it's like, no, you actually need a whole lot of men to take care of you for you to feel like you're taking care of yourself, which seems, I guess, hypocritical. Instead of the old school model of, I guess you could just find one guy to take care of you. And I saw this conversation on Twitter. I forget who said it, but it was like, why don't these women just pursue one millionaire or like one very well-off man to have a relationship with and for them to be taken care of financially rather than like, I don't know, several thousand men chipping in for this woman to make a living? I don't know. I think because I can tell you why, actually, because the idea of being reliant upon one man is very scary to these women. I would say they likely have issues with their dads or with men. They just have probably picked very poor men their whole life and they're afraid of intimacy. Men have let them down. It's like a combination of like they've been let down, but they also have horrible taste in men. And I think they just feel empowered by the idea that they're able to take care of themselves. But it's like, you're not taking care of themselves. These dudes, probably some of whom are married themselves or have girlfriends. So it's like you're participating and you're encouraging these men to kind of like cheat on their own women to help support you. So it's a lot of not good. It's a lot of not good. And at the end of the day, like, you're totally depleted, and um it just takes a real soul toll on you. I remember my conversation with Jasmine Jafar, who does OnlyFans, and she's just very bright young lady. She's a lawyer, and like, just I was blown away by how smart she is. And I did an interview with her, and she was talking about just the maintenance on her OnlyFans. She spends hours writing messages, getting back to people. It's like the personal aspect, the customer service aspect of OnlyFans, right? It's like, yes, many people enjoy the same photos, but the time it takes to respond to every single person, it's like, it takes time and energy. And she even admitted, like, she had a hard time meeting a boyfriend or finding potential boyfriends because all her she just spends all of her um like emotional stores, she just spends all her banter, all her energy on her customers, right? So even though she's like bright, very attractive, want probably deep down really wants to find a man, it's like, you can't. You spent it all. Like, you are now emotionally in debt. So you're like, well, that doesn't feel good. Um and so someone like Lily, oh, I keep wanting to say Lily Gaddis. That's the N-word girl. Lily Phillips. You think, oh, I guess I'll just up the number, because what else can I do? You're getting nothing emotional from these guys. These guys aren't even pleasuring her. Come on. You want to set a really cool record, Lily? How many guys can make me come in 24 hours? How about do something for yourself, girl? Instead of like, how many number of guys can I have? How about just like, I don't know, how many guys can be impressive, you know? Ugh, bothers me. It's just like, women will deal with so many men who do nothing for them, who don't bring them up, who don't see them for who they are. It's just like, when you treat yourself like a piece of meat, how do you expect men to treat you? I'm not blaming the men. The men are in it for themselves. They're like, "Ooh, I could get off in 2 to 5 minutes. Cool." And like, the kind of man that would sign up for this probably isn't like a quality man that she ironically, the kind of man that would sign up for this isn't the type of man that she would want or to like settle down with, if that's something she wants deep down. But I'm not blaming anyone. I would say Emily, no, Lily, I keep forgetting her name. Lily Phillips and all of the guys are all like equally guilty, although we're not like assigning blame. This is something that everyone willingly participated in. It's sad for everybody involved. It's sad to be one of these 100 guys. It's sad if you're number 1. It's sad if you're number 100. I think these guys deserve more. Can you imagine, like, you're dating one of these 100 men, and you try to get to know, and like, and I imagine all these men are dating. Hopefully none of them are married. But if you're one of the 100 guys that Lily Phillips slept with, and then you're out in the dating world, and some woman's like, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I signed up to be one of the 100 men to bang Lily Phillips." I would be like, "Check, please." I wouldn't want to date a guy who signed up to do this. So it's bad for everybody involved. Or maybe these guys would just keep it to themselves. That's what I would recommend. Like, do not tell a potential girlfriend or wife that you signed up to do this, because it's just kind of icky. It kind of means that you don't. Nobody involved with this values the act. William, thanks for the 5. At what point do we drop the OF model label and just call her a porn star, right? Or a prostitute, even? I guess it depends on your mainstream appeal or your income. But good point, Will. I want to know from the guys in the chat, would you sign up to do something like this? Russell Hall, her name is literally Phillips or Phillips. Russell Hall. It's way sadder for number 100 than it is for number 1. I guess because you know that you're 100, and it's actually probably more than that. You have to add that to every other guy she has worked with. So you're probably more like, I don't know, 2 or 3,000. I mean, like, think about how many guys this woman has had in her whole life. Russell Hall, unless 100 is destiny, then he's in his element. That's funny. Lord of our Quadzilla OF model is another cope. They're prostitutes, which is fine. Whatever, just call it what it is. OnlyFans model does sound a lot better, though. I feel terrible for her, and I hope she cancels. I hope she bails on the 1,000 guys in 24 hours thing. This is very, very sad. Why do I feel like it's only a matter of time before you are running a story of her untimely? Oh, yeah, she is traumatized by the experience. I don't think she'll find a meaningful relationship with any man again. No, don't. I think there's always hope for everybody. Don't you make her a victim here? Yeah, no, she's not a victim. She thought of, planned, executed every single thing that happened to her. She did it for money. I wonder how much money she made. I don't think she's faking the tears. I think she's genuinely traumatized, like shell-shocked by what happened. This is so sad. I pray for this beautiful young lady is freed from this and feels the love and forgiveness of Christ in her life. These acts will drain her soul and expose her to STDs. Oh my God, of course. I'm not sure why this is being glorified. This is downright dangerous for any woman or man's health. And I'm sorry, it's not an impressive goal. Literally, any woman can just lay there and have like 100 dudes. You know what I mean? Like, again, none of these, and she's doing all of the work. It's not like she's picking guys that are like have an amazing talent for speed and like don't need her help at all. She probably had to give like you know how tired you would be after giving 100 hand jobs? I'm not impressed because I would have liked her to get something out of it. Like, is anybody trying to pleasure this woman? My God, she's probably exhausted. Ugh. Anyway, I hope she comes around. 1,000. How are you going to do 1,000? How long did it take to do 100? Hold on. We can do this math. If 5 minutes is the absolute max. So if we do 100 times 5, that's 500 minutes divided by 60. That's 8.3 hours. So that's a work day. Ooh. Oh, wow. Poof. I would say, Lily Phillips, it's okay if you bail on this. I would say really listen to your feelings, listen to your gut. Listen to the quiet voices you hear when you put your head on the pillow. And it's really like you've already gone super viral from this 100 guys in 8 hours thing. Do not feel like, because let's say you do pull off 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Then what? Are you going to do 2,000? Are you going to do 5,000 in a week? Like, what? Where does it end? Then what do you do? Like, you will be at the same place after 1,000 guys that you are in now, which is you'll be left with this feeling of what next and who am I? And you can't just keep doing this. You can't just keep upping the number, because there's always going to be, you'll always come to the end of it, no pun intended, and be left feeling like, what is my next move? So I would say, if your feelings are search your feelings. If your feelings are crying out to you, like, please get me out of this, go ahead, cancel. And I think, it would be helpful, Lily Phillips, write some kind of a tell-all book, maybe start a podcast, get really honest about what this lifestyle is doing to you. Or, I don't know, if it's not and you feel great about it, talk about why that is the case. But from what I've seen, it is not great and you are not loving it. So, let's pray for Lily Phillips, even if you're not the praying type. And I know you're probably like, well, I don't feel sympathy for her. She's you can still feel sympathy for people who do things with their full consent, right? What's up, K Max? In your view, Chrissy, does she actually enjoy the sex, or is it all about attention and money? Might she even dissociate? She said as much. She said that she disassociates. There's no way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are women out there who can enjoy a physical partner in 5 minutes. I know. I don't think that's possible. Women take longer to like get in the mood and get there. It's possible she could have been like warmed up, like she could have been in the mood before she started the 100 guys, but for sure a lot of these guys are bad in bed, have terrible moves, have no riz, are not flexible, have bad bodies, have smell, don't work out, have no muscle tone. I would say at least half of these dudes are not like physically good to look at, that she's probably not getting much out of. And I would say at least 75% of these guys are not trying to get her off or make her feel any pleasure or even make her feel good about herself. So I would say maybe a handful of guys she probably had a good, genuine interaction with. I would say more of them probably not, because the men are under immense pressure, like, to perform. Like, they're not professional porn stars who can get there really quickly. Um, it's not good for men to feel pressure to like to get there quickly. You have 2 to 5 minutes. And I mean, did every single one of these guys get there? I find that hard to believe too. I imagine some of these guys just couldn't do it. Like, couldn't get to the top of the mountain, you know what I mean? Like, cave to the pressure. I don't think maybe very few of these men are enjoying this. It probably feels good in the moment, then you go home and you go, ugh, why did I do that? It's embarrassing for everyone involved. Like, yeah, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should, and doesn't mean that that's something to be proud of. Like, we could all be slaves to our own like sexual desires, right? Like, and I'm sure a lot of us have been there at some point in our lives. We're just like, oh, this feels good, I'll keep doing it. But that doesn't mean you should, and it doesn't mean that's like the best use of your time or it's the best thing for your soul. I just think, I don't know, I find this kind of thing so boring now. Like, a lot of people could do this. Just sort of like lay there and turn yourself into a conveyor belt, I'm just not impressed. I feel more really bad for her. I doubt she enjoyed any of that. I think if she did, she's kidding herself. Oh, Lily. Well, we'll see if she does 1,000. Let's go to Twitter. What is Twitter saying about this? Makes me upset. I feel like I want to talk to her. I feel like I want to like be her friend. Oh, here's another little snippet. Why are people feeling sorry for Lily Phillips? She willingly wanted to do this with 100 guys in 24 hours. Oh, I think it was 8.5 hours. Although, did she get a break? She must have had a break. There's no way she could have gone the straight 8. I mean, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to eat something, right? In 8 hours. What is she saying here?
I want to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in one day.
Logistically, how long are you going to spend with each man?
In out, I'm hoping a couple seconds.
A couple
at
seconds.
most.
A couple
We're hoping
seconds.
for some other girls there, make it a bit of an event that the guys actually want to come to and enjoy. And you know, they don't just get 2 seconds; they get a little bit longer. So I started.
2 seconds. So if you're going to be part of the 1,000 guys, if you thought 2 to 5 minutes was bad, 2 seconds. That means you literally just you're waiting in line and then you do an in and out, right? That's just like, how can that even count? Like she just wants 100 of them just in and out, just boom, boom. I don't think anyone's gonna get there with 2 seconds.
Doing porn a year ago now, and I just loved it so much. And I think my was getting quite mundane, and that's when I decided to kind of
Yeah, you have to keep upping the ante because you're like, oh well, this is not emotionally or spiritually satisfying, so you need to up the physical aspect of it.
Up and do some challenges. I'm doing what I love and what I enjoy, and making a career out of it. So what's wrong with that? You know,
She doesn't look like she loves it. She's not like smiling. Her eyes are not smiling. She's not like laughing, and I don't think she enjoys it. I think it's a big cope. I think it pays her bills, and she's like, I should be happy. It's giving me the life I like. I can buy nice things. Okay, is this another clippy?
I spent 14 consecutive hours getting ran through, and now I'm going to be doing 24 because I'm going to be going for the world record early February next year. I'm going to go for 1,000. I spent 4.
Yeah, like I feel like look at her eyes. It's like even if you listen to this without the volume, there's no joy in her eyes. It's like she's not like she just doesn't seem happy, or maybe it's the Botox. She's just like going through the motions. Oh boy. This is funny. 2017, my wife went viral for this is from Adam 22. He probably feels like, hey, I'm not special anymore. 2017, my wife went viral for having sex with me. 2023, my wife went viral for being with another guy. 2024, a woman goes viral for being with 100 men. 2025, same woman goes viral for being with 1,000 men. Where could we go from here? Yeah, just upping the numbers. Wow. Oof. And she's so pretty. Oh, guys, you could apply to this. If you if you think you have what it takes to have sex for 2 seconds, then you should apply to 1,000 at lilyphillips.co.uk. Oh, also you have to go to the UK. To apply, email a photo of your ID and you holding your ID to your face. Ugh. Imagine how many gross dudes are gonna apply to this. Wow. Old curdy bastard. I am not incredibly religious, but everyone involved needs Jesus. Yes, they do. You are correct. Russell Hall. Do you think she'll have trouble selling her place? Oh, her apartment, like where this is happening. I imagine she would rent out like a hotel room to do this. I wouldn't want all these people in my house. Old nerdy, thank you for the yellow boy. Where can I send in my application? I think this is a job I can be really good at. I just want to be first, though. You're not first. Nobody is first. Oof. I mean, first of the day, sure. No one in this situation is going to feel good about themselves. Wow. Oh, is this the same thing?
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm up because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys Now, this is going to be a ticketed event.
Ticketed event. So what do people get to? Are there going to be bleachers? Is there going to be popcorn? Is it going to be like a UFC fight?
More details. I want you to be a part of this. Last week.
So that's how she's going to make money. She's going to sell. Who would want to watch that? I guess a degenerate would, but like if you're a guy who genuinely likes to watch a woman being pleasured, you're not going to enjoy this. Like she's not going to get any enjoyment out of this. Who is this for? Yeah. Convinced that if we allow Lily Phillips to get ran through by 1,000 men, it's going to open up some sort of underworld dark portal that all of Satan's demons will escape through and wreak havoc. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be good for anybody's spirituality. Poor thing. Is this the same clip?
I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the I think like the 30th,
yeah.
you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just
you can't fake
sometimes you like
this.
disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal things at all. In my head
Not
right now,
normal.
I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember.
She only remembers maybe 10 out of 100. Maybe only 5. See, what did I say before? Maybe only 5 guys actually made her feel good. I was correct about that.
And that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know. But yeah. I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously
let's do it again.
It just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
The guilt.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making
She's
this
like
documentary,
Jesus, as in I need
wasn't
Jesus.
too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the.
Why wouldn't you expect to see her upset? She's a human being. Oh, the hot dog meme. Okay. Her father's friends are, oh my goodness. Her father's friends are subscribed to her. Her PA kept urging her to complete it. She actively disassociates, convinced herself she deprived herself from sleep and eating, drinking, left with trauma, and society wants to convince OnlyFans is not harming women. This is borderline a social afflicted psychosis, for lack of a better wording. People around her manipulating her, and she herself is forcing to become a robotic shell of herself to be able to manage the trauma that those 1,000 men inflict on her. Not to blame the men, not that they're bad. They're not, it's possible they're not all bad people. They could all be great people, but just the sheer, I mean, like if we were to turn it around the other way, if a man was with 100 women, wouldn't that be hilarious? A man trying to satisfy 100 women. That would be the biggest failure on the planet. Like you get 2 to 5 women, 2 to 5 minutes to make a woman get there. Oh, that'd be such a failure. It'd be funny. But I think that would even not be great for a man's spirit. I could be wrong. Maybe if there were like 100 women lined up and all he had to do was just, I don't know, maybe some of them could do it. Imagine being this woman. She's incredibly beautiful. She thinks that value can be turned into wealth and never once realized that money means nothing. It has always been life lived together in love. Wealth merely facilitates that. She is a victim, just as men who die in wars are. Ooh. This is self-harm. It is bad for the men who are degrading themselves by using another human as nothing more than a fleshlight, and deeply degrading to herself. To let her be used by men like that, nobody benefits from this. It's a sad and sick cycle. This is self-harm. Wow. I just feel like it's a lot of hard work for her. Like, is she having fun? Old curdy bastard, the kids spilled on the floor will be old enough to graduate by the time she's through 1,000 guys. Ugh. Russell Hall, would you rather boink 1,000 random guys in one day or eat one turd out of a cup? Oof. Probably I'd go for the turd. Yeah. I think if you're having 1,000 guys, you're probably going to end up eating a turd whether you want to or not. I don't know. Just in the chaos. Yeah. Very sad. Maybe she'll have like a pivotal moment between now and then. That would be nice. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about the drones. There are mysterious drones flying around New Jersey. Does anybody know why? Nobody knows why. New Jersey drones. Let's see what they're saying on Twitter. Da, 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 da. Is it that I'm curious about what? Like the girl with the 100 guys? I don't know that I'm curious. I think that I'm thoughtful and I think things all the way through. Like I actually think about what it's like for her, what it's like for the guys. I've spoken to a lot of women in this industry, so I just try to put myself in other people's shoes. I don't know if that's like makes me maybe it does make me curious. I don't know. I just am interested in people. Old Nerdy, thanks for the yellow boy. If she is not doing this out of her own free will, that's terrible. But if she wants to do this, who is everyone to judge? Oh, well, we're going to judge. That's human nature. Why blame OnlyFans or anyone else? God bless you, Chrissy. That was a big sneeze. Yeah, just because someone wants to do something doesn't mean it's the best thing for them to do. But again, everyone has free will, of course. And yeah, she's got some, I guess, life lessons to learn. Isabel alive. The turd is the word. Oh boy. I'm going to go for 100 sneezes. I mean, like, am I judging? I think I'm more thinking about the after effects. Like, what does everyone get out of this? Is it worth everybody's time? Is the juice worth the squeeze, so to speak? Like for the emotional and energetic output that this woman is doing. What does she get in return? Is the money enough? Is the money worth like the cost it's going to have on her? Only she can be the judge of that. So I don't know if I'm really judging per se. I'm just going, is this worth it? Do. Drone site. Oh, I keep getting these ads. I gotta use a different thing. Oh, this is like very distracting. Hold on. Wow, and in Oregon, there's mysterious lights moving at extreme speeds. Ooh. Oh my God, I'm getting Range Rover ads. Why? People know I can't afford a Range Rover. Okay, Max, Channing Tatum will not be volunteering for this job, Chrissy. 1,000 Channing Tatums? 1,000, but there's only one Channing Tatum. 1,000 Channing Tatums would get boring, I think. Junior, I ate 3 hot dogs once and I still have self-hatred and guilt from that, so I get it. This would be, imagine eating 100 hot dogs. Okay. Is this about the drones? Mysterious drones. Senator Richard Blumenthal says mysterious drones spotted recently should be shot down if necessary. A U.S. senator from Connecticut said the mysterious drones spotted recently flying over states in the Mid-Atlantic region should be shot down if necessary. In an interview on Capitol Hill Thursday, Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, said intelligence analysis is needed on the drones, and the U.S. must act more aggressively against the sightings that have been reported. We should be doing some very smart intelligence analysis and take them out of the skies, especially if they're flying over airports or military bases, the senator said. Yeah. They should be shot down, flying over sensitive areas. Blumenthal also said the lack of information on the drones, who they belong to, where they have come from, is absolutely unacceptable. His comments come as many large drones have been flying over New Jersey in the past few weeks. Drones were also allegedly spotted in Blumenthal State for the first time on Thursday. What? That is wild looking. Whoa. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby said Thursday that many of the alleged drones spotted recently are actually lawfully operated manned aircraft. Okay. Very strange. We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus, Kirby told reporters at the daily White House press briefing. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. Wowie. Oh, they were spotted in Toms River. Kirby also said thus far the investigation into the alleged drones has not revealed any national security or malicious intent or criminal activity, but admitted the government is in the beginning stages of the investigation. Yeah, they're pulling some bullshit. Blumenthal said his office is asking for a briefing on the drones, describing it as absolutely necessary for Congress and the American people, as many appear to be concerned and afraid. I'm hearing from constituents in the metropolitan area and around New York, Connecticut, and Jersey who are really terrified by these drones flying unidentified over airports and military bases, he said. The senator added that the drones are causing a level of fear, even terror, because people are worried about surveillance and airplanes flying in the same airspace. This is a horrible picture. Why even put this in the article? He also encouraged Americans wanting to use drones to buy ones manufactured in the USA and not China, warning that they could be sources of surveillance data for other kinds of security threats. Chinese manufactured drones are a real and present threat to the security of this country, Blumenthal said. We have to stop using them. Well, that's a good idea. Okie doke. Wowie. So these drones have been flying over the last few days. Wow. Jeff Van Drew doubles down on the claim that mystery drones are coming. It'd be funny if it was like Alex drones. It's just a drone that's saying like they're turning the frogs gay. Coming from foreign mothership offshore, we're not being told the truth. New Jersey Rep Jeff Van Drew doubled down on his claim that mysterious drones troubling the Garden State are coming from a mothership off the East Coast, slamming Pentagon officials for treating the American public like they're stupid and withholding information about the drones. He stood his ground on Thursday, even after a Pentagon spokesperson on Wednesday denied claims that the unidentified flying objects came from Iran. Those drones could very well be launched from a ship. It could be hundreds of miles out to sea. These types of drones go much greater distances. Could it be China? Absolutely. Could it be somebody else? It sure could, Van Drew told Fox News on Thursday. The Pentagon does not know what the drones are or where they're coming from. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it came from. Van Drew insisted they must know exactly. They just don't want to say they know because then they have to say what it is. Van Drew insisted on air that his information was coming from highly credible sources who believe Iran could have a ship off the East Coast coming in and out of the ocean. We are not being told the truth. The Pentagon is dealing with the American people like we're stupid. The large drones have been spotted hovering across the night skies in Jersey for weeks. Wow, for weeks. Baffling residents with a mysterious array of flashing lights and seemingly aimless movements. Sometimes numerous objects have been spotted flying in formation, and they've begun appearing across parts of New York too. The first reported sightings started on November 18th. Wow, it's been going on for like a month already, and have continued every night since. Local and federal officials have stated that they believe the drones pose no threat to public security. Oh, wow. Despite this attempted reassurance, plenty of other politicians have voiced their concerns about the drones as well, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, who shared Van Drew's opinion that something is being kept from the American people. Number one, I'm going to call total bullshit that no one knows what these are. I think it's a slap in the face to the American people to say they don't know what it is. I agree, Greene told reporters on Thursday. Close Encounters of the Turnpike. That's cute. They can track down a guy that's just killed the CEO, but they can't identify what these nightly drones are and where they're coming from. I think that's absolutely disgusting to lie to the American people like this. Greene conceded that if the Pentagon officials were telling the truth, that they don't know anything about the drones, the country would be in danger. Secondly, if they are telling the truth, this country is in horrible shape. We are all in danger. I mean, seriously, if our great government can't identify what these drones are that are flying every single night and people are sitting out there videotaping with their cell phones, then no American is safe. Yeah, it's terrible either way. It's bad either way. Greene agreed with Van Drew's assessment. However, the Pentagon officials know more than they're letting on, but aren't sharing that information. I think our Pentagon knows. Our Pentagon should know, she added. I'm not privy to that information. We're not in control yet, but I'm going to call them a bunch of liars because I think they're full of it. If they don't know, they need to resign in shame. That's what I think. And we need people in charge who can know, but I don't buy it at all. Yeah, I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is very sketchy. Maybe they're just observing the behaviors of New Jerseyans. They're like, what is this Gym 10 laundry we've heard of? And why New Jersey? They're probably like, we need to observe why New Jersey almost went to Trump this year in the election. Okay. Is this a little clippy?
These types of drones go much greater distances. These, again, are something that we normally don't see in the United States. So there's a real possibility. Could it be China? Absolutely. Could it be somebody else? It sure could. Here's the deal. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening? I hope they know more than they're telling us, but that's disrespectful to the public and to Congress. It's about time they leveled with the truth. Hopefully they'll give us some information this afternoon.
Ugh, that is scary. That is scary. Well, if there's anybody in Jersey, and if you guys can get footage, well, that's the thing. It's not going to be better than this. It's all going to be blurry and weird. Oh, boy. Very strange. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it for me this morning. Old nerdy. I saw a drone the other night in Staten Island. You have to think the government knows exactly what they are, and they're just not telling us. How could they know? They pose no threat. That proves they have info. Yeah, of course they know. Of course they know. It's it makes you even more worried when they say, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine." How do you know it's fine? Thank you, old nerdy. All right, that's it for me this morning. Tune in this afternoon to Friday Night Tights, 4:30 p.m. Start today on Nerdrotic's YouTube channel. Oh, your dad saw one the other day. Spooky. Gym Tan Laundry, Isabella. Snooki is still getting lost on the beach while looking for Spike. Weird. Very weird. All right. I'll see you guys later this afternoon on FNT. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.